Okay, so this story right here, this was the first person besides, I say, my brother, that was like a role model, a person that I looked up to. What's crazy about him is, well, first of all, I wasn't never supposed to meet him, but like I said, I've been in the streets or out in the streets since maybe like 12 years old. You know what I mean? And when I say been out in the streets, I wouldn't say like necessarily participating in street activities, but I was just in the streets, because my family, like my brother, auntie, everybody was in the streets. So I was out in the streets, being around stuff I shouldn't have been around at such an early age. You get what I'm saying? So, and I used to want to always be around my brother. Like I said, he was like the person I naturally look up to, but as far as like an outside person, this guy I'm finna tell you about, he was the person, he was my first role model. I just remember being with my brother one day, and he said he need to go somewhere real quick. He need to go up on 15th Avenue. That was the street in the city where I'm from, at the time. That Ave was popping too, 15th Ave. That was a popping section where I'm from. And so we went up there. And I went with him, At the time, I'm probably like 13. Yeah, I think at the time I'm like 13 years old. And I go up there with him. And he go up there to meet this guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm guessing the guy that he does business with or whatever. And I'm just there with him. Like a tag along. And so as soon as I meet the dude, just, I don't know, just his presence when he walked out the door. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I just looked at him like, damn. Because he was kind of tall, too. So I'm like, dang, who this dude? And him and my brother, they did their thing or whatever. But what's so crazy, I don't know if I was looking at him that hard or whatever, but he wound up asking my brother, he like, who this, your little brother or whatever? He was like, well, yeah, that's my people. He just with me, da-da-da-da. Whatever, just like, oh, okay. And instead of them just handling business and leaving, we actually like kicked it with him. Like he handled whatever business he needed to handle with my brother, and then like we kicked it. We walked outside the door, of the apartments, and then we was kicking it. We was sitting around because I guess they wanted to smoke, drink, and play music. And what's crazy is he wasn't playing like the latest rap shit and stuff like that I would think that this nigga playing or should be playing, because it wasn't like he was an old cat. He was around my brother's age, maybe a year or two older than my brother. So I'm thinking we'll be listening to like rap and shit. This motherfucker playing what I found out, I didn't know what it was at the time, but I found out like blues music. The motherfucker was playing blues music, like all that type of shit. B.B. King, like I didn't know who none of these people was if it wasn't for Heavy. That's his name. That's the name he went by, Heavy. Fits him well. Big guy, tall, big guy. That was his nickname. And I didn't know about blues at all. I didn't know about none of these motherfuckers. But I wound up finding out because he was playing blues music. That's the thing I always remembered. And why the fuck we listening to this shit? Like, I was not listening to no type of shit like that at the time. But I didn't want to be rude and disrespectful. I think I was like making noises though, like to the point where he said something. He was like, you don't like my music? And I was just like, I ain't really say nothing. He was like, that's all right. He like, I know this before your time, but listen, you might learn something. They tell real stories and stuff like that, whatever he said. But I'm just like, man, I don't want to hear this shit. But it was still just his aura though. It was just still like his aura. I just liked it. I liked it hanging with my brother, but I liked it hanging around him too. Because I was like, he a cool dude. And I quickly started, since I was, like I say, in the streets early, I started developing my street smarts. I was like, I think he the man over here or something. He must be the man, because while we sitting out chilling, so many people walking up to him. He dipping off and leaving and coming back. And like I say, him and my brother smoking and chilling. Then we wound up leaving, we wound up leaving, letting him handle his business. At the time, I was staying up the street from him. I was probably like a block or two away. you know what I'm saying, away from 15th Ave where he was known to be. So after that, I don't know why, I just got this urge to go back up there. I just got this urge to go back up on 15th Avenue. Because like I said, it was so lit. It was so much going on. There was a corner store across the street, you know, junkies and all kind of stuff. Stuff I'm into. I was just, for some reason, I was intrigued by that type of shit. So I wound up going up there by myself. Like shortly after meeting him. I wound up going up there by myself without my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I think if I would have asked my brother to go up there, he would have told me no. So I didn't even ask. I just went on head up there. I just went outside and walked up to 15th. Because I would always go to that little store. But I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, Heavy was right there across the street. So I went up there without my brother and I seen him. You know what I'm saying? And he was immediately like, what you doing up here? Where your brother at? I was like, I don't know. He was like, oh, you came here by yourself? I was like, yeah, came up by myself. He was like, yeah. He was like, all right, well, go across the street right there. Go to that store and tell them to give you a pack of backwoods and St. Ives. And I was like, they ain't gonna get that to me. And he was like, tell him it's for me. Tell him Heavy said to give it to him, to give it to you. So I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, I'm finna go do this shit. I'm finna go see. Sure enough, he told me what kind of St. Ives. At the time, everybody was crazy about the St. Ives, the flavor St. Ives that Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and at the time, everybody loved that shit. So that's what I went and got. I went and grabbed that first. I go up to the counter, and then I asked for the backwoods. And the man is looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Looking at me like, I know damn well this goddamn jit. I ain't finna try to buy this shit, but I just go right away and I tell him, I say, Heavy told me to get this for him. And then as soon as I said that, man, like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And he gave it to me. I gave him the money, boom. Gone. Out of there. Now, walking across the street with his St. Ives in his wood. And I give it to him, like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just tripping out like, that's crazy. Like, I just bought a beer and shit. I'm like 13 years old. So anyway, me and him, needless to say, like I said, I started getting close to him on my own, you know, because like I said, I stayed going up there without my brother and chilling with him. And he didn't mind because he was out there all day chilling down his business. Like, to me, he was like the ghetto Nino Brown. For real, he was like the ghetto Nino Brown because on 15th Avenue, it was these apartments. He ran the apartments. Kind of, they remind me like the Carter. Like, everybody that lived there was fiends, was spacers, you know. And everybody had to buy dope from him. You had to buy it from him. You couldn't buy it from nobody else either. You know, and he was such, not only was he a cool dude, he didn't play that shit. He was a gangster. He was a gangster to the core too. On top, he was a gangster and a gentleman. You understand? He gonna give you the good side and the bad side in heartbeat. So he claimed that block. You know, I remember it'd be dudes trying to like come up on there, and if you do, like, it might be a shootout, you might get shot, you might get beat up, but if you ain't coming, the only way that you can be around there and sell drugs, you had to buy it from him. He sold it to the junkies, he sold it to the niggas that was hustling, whatever, but you had to buy it from him. You know what I mean? No ifs, ands, buts about it. If you went and bought it from competition or something, you can't be nowhere on 15th Avenue. You know, so I just love that shit about him. I just love that about how respected he was. Because he stood on whatever he said. You know what I mean? And I noticed that as I was starting to come up there all the time, hang on, I would see his interaction with niggas. I would see how he talked to people. Like I said, he was a gentleman, but then he ain't take no shit. He'll punch you in your face, whatever. You know? And I was like, damn, I love this nigga, man. I love this nigga, man. So I enjoyed all the times that, you know, and my brother hung with him a lot too. And I just made sure I was there every time. You know, we would go ride out together. We would listen to like E40 and The Click. And, you know, we would just be smoking, drinking, handling business while there. And I'm just so happy to be there. I'm just so happy to be there. It meant everything to me. I remember one time he came by my brother's spot. You know what I mean? This was like summertime now. I was out of school, so I was staying by my brother's spot. He came over, and And one thing I remember him telling me, he was like, if you finna be hanging around me, man, I'm gonna treat you like you grown. I'm not gonna treat you like a child because, like, he was like, you could be doing child stuff. You could go, like, he didn't ask me all that, like, why you don't play football and why you don't do that and this and that. And I probably said, I don't care about that. I probably said that type of stuff. But he was like, all right, well, if you're gonna be hanging with me, I'm gonna treat you like a man. You gotta do everything we do. And at the time, that sounded like, shit, no problem. Damn right, because you know, you're young, and like I said, I'm looking up to him, so of course I want to do what he do. Shit, whatever, you know? But not knowing, like, he wasn't saying it to make it fun. You get what I'm saying? He was trying to give me a message with that. But of course, at the time, I didn't see it. But he was like, yeah, you're going to hang around us, you got to do everything we do. If we smoke, you smoke, drink, whatever we do, you got to do. So I was like, cool. So anyway, so this day, I'm at my brother's spot, and we playing this little game. We playing a game of flip. I ain't never heard of this shit, but probably niggas before me know about this shit. Flip the coin, and like heads or tails, if you wrong, you gotta take a shot. And this nigga got this big ass thing of Tanqueray. Tanqueray was also shit back then. You know, he got this big ass thing of Tanqueray. If you flip the coin and you get it wrong, you gotta take a shot. So we doing this shit. Me and him. He got shots lined up and shit. We flipping the coin. Heads or tails. Boom. And I probably took like 4 or 5 shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? And like I said, I'm like 13 and it's straight Tanqueray. You know what I mean? And there wasn't no chasing nothing. We taking shots. So, and mind you, before that, we was just smoking. We was just smoking weed. And we, you know, got bored and played that game. He made me play it with him. So, I'm fucked up. And he fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm super fucked up, but not realizing that my mom was coming to my brother's house to see me that day. I forgot all about it. You know what I'm saying? That she's supposed to be coming over there to check on me and stuff like that. Because like I said, I was basically spending the summer with my brother. And she would just pop up. And that day, she popped up. And when she popped up, I was like, oh, shit. Damn. I'm fucked up. I knew I was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was drunk and high, man. Fucked up. Like, I was so fucked up, like, I didn't want to talk to my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, she came in and sat down. I tried to go sit down at the table, too, so she could talk to me, but I'm fucked up. She trying to talk to me. I can't even remember what she asked me, what I said, but what I remember is this nigga was laughing. This nigga sitting there laughing, because like I say, he drunk, too, and stuff like that, but he laughing how fucked up I am, and my mama trying to talk to me. And he laughing, so my mama like, what's wrong? What's funny? What happened? And he ain't really saying nothing. And then she was like, is he high or something? My mama said, she was high or something. And then I think my brother jumped in like, nah, he ain't. She like, so his eyes red. And I think I was like, I'm tired and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just remember that, like, being like the funniest shit. Like, because he was like a prankster too. Like I said, he was funny. He was a prankster. One day he came over to my brother's spot, show my brother how to cook up dope, show my brother the right way to do it, and all that type of shit. He had this mask. He had this mask on his face. He's supposed to, I know why he had the mask, because of what he was doing, but he made everybody, because my brother was on his way back to the house, so he made everybody that was there get on the floor and lay on the floor. And he was going to make it look like he did a robbery and laid everybody down so he could scare the shit out of my brother. My brother didn't know he was there with a mask, you know what I'm saying? So my brother unlocked the door, and as soon as my brother unlocked the door and opened it, he was like, yeah, take every fucking thing off. You know, he went to talk, and my brother my brother thought we was getting robbed and laid down. That shit was, the look on his face, if we could have recorded that shit, man, that shit was priceless. But yeah, so he was a jokester like that, man, and You know what I'm saying? I loved that dude, man. I love that Heavy, man. I loved him, man. Like I said, he was my Michael Jordan, man. You know, that was my role model. There wasn't no sports figures and none of that. It was street dudes that I met in the street, and he was my Michael Jordan, man. So anyway, summer's over. I gotta go back to school. Had the best time of my life hanging with them, you know. But I gotta go back to school and shit. So I'm back at my mama crib. You know, my mama stayed way out west or whatever. I'm back at her crib. I'm not there. But every time the weekend come, every time Friday hit, I know where I'm at. I'm back on the block. I wanna be in the hood. And so that's what I was doing. I was just going there on the weekends. And I would hate it because it seemed like every time I leave, it was something good going on that I was going to miss because of school. And I'd be sitting there in school thinking about what's going on the street. So I was pissed off. So anyway, one day, I come home from school and stuff like that. And my sister come to me. My sister like, you heard what happened? I'm like, nah, what happened? She was like, Heavy dead. And I was like, what? I was like, who in the fuck who told you that? She was like, yeah, he got killed. I said, what? And I'm like, huh? Like, the shit came out of left field. Like, came out of left field. Like, I jumped on the phone immediately. I want to know who in the fuck told what? What? It's like, yeah, made the news. So, like, I didn't know how to feel when I found out that's really it. I wanted to know every detail, but I didn't know how to feel. Like, that shit crushed me, man. That shit crushed me like, I don't know. That shit crushed me like you told me my favorite person died. You know what I'm saying? So come to find out, the same guy that he was sending me to the store to buy alcohol and cigars and shit, that same Arab guy, you know, come to find out, I guess that's why the Arab guy didn't care to sell me anything or give me anything. Because there was a couple times I gave him money, then there was a couple times I didn't, where he had me go to the store and grab him stuff. There's a couple times I didn't have to give him no money because I'd be asking Heavy, I'd be like, do I need the money? He'd be like, no, he's going to give it to you. And, you know, so come to find out, that dude was a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? He was on drugs, you know? And he was the son of the owner of the store. The owner wasn't never even really there, but his son was there running it. And come to find out, he was on drugs, and he was buying drugs from Heavy, which I didn't know. Heavy didn't tell me his business unless I saw it myself. Other than that, he didn't talk about nothing like that, you know? So I didn't know. And come to find out, the guy owed him money. And the guy has been owing him money for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I guess the guy kept shortening him when he came to get his money. You know what I'm saying? I guess. So this one day he walked to the store, you know what I mean? And he wanted his money from the dude. And I don't know what dude told him. I wasn't there, like I say, but he choked the dude up. He put a fork to the dude's neck. Like, he got real serious with the dude. He jacked the dude up and put a fork to his neck. And I guess told him, pay me my money. You know what I'm saying? Give me my money ASAP. Give me my money. He probably told him, gave him a time limit or something, you know. But when he did that, he let the dude go, whatever. And he started to walk out the door and go back across the street. The dude, I guess, went behind the counter, come out, running behind him, and shoot him all up in his back. You know what I'm saying? And shot him and left him in the street, right on 15th Ave. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out that's what happened. And when I found out that that's what happened, and I'm like, the same guy that I always see all the time going up in that store, and I wanted that dude dead, man. Like, what? Like, like, you took my hero. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I loved Heavy, man. I loved Heavy, man. I did, man. And just like that, you know what I'm saying? A day, well, this is the most craziest part of it all was the day before his birthday. And I knew that. And I think, like, this happened on a Wednesday. I think his birthday was on a Thursday that year. And so I already knew that was close to the weekend. I knew I wasn't going to make his birthday, but I knew I was shooting there on Friday because I know they finna have a block. Block finna be crazy. Everybody finna be posting up with him. Come show him love because he had a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did. He had a lot of love. Like, he had a lot of respect. He had respect, love, fear, all that. So I couldn't wait to celebrate his birthday, man. I couldn't wait for that. And he got killed the day before his birthday. And that fucked me up. I think before then, I probably had like a grandma pass away. I think my aunt passed away. I didn't cry. You know, not to say that, you know, that I didn't want to cry, but I didn't have that emotion to cry. I said that to say, like, when he died and then I went there, I went to 15th. I broke down like a baby, man. I broke down like a baby. That was the first time I cried over somebody dying. You get what I'm saying? Because that shit hit me different. It hit me different. He was one of those people, you know, one of them gone too soon type people. I mean, I understand the life he was living, but he's somebody that you want to see 30 years from then, chilling in front of his house on the porch telling old stories about life he used to live and shit like that. He one of them. You know what I'm saying? He was gone way too soon. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even though he had like an old aura about him, he was only like 23. He was only like 23, 24. He was young. But he had this old soul, old spirit. Like I said, he listened to old school rap, blues. He'll listen to stuff that currently at the time people want to listen to like that. Here's a true definition to me of a leader. I still carry myself to this day under like teachings from him. Respecting certain stuff, morals, principles, standing on stuff like, you know, being for real about what you say. Don't say it unless, you know what I mean? Like those principles, like I still, you know, that come from him and I still remember it. He died in 1996. Like I said, when I was like 13 years old. And been a long ways from 96, but I never forgot him, never will. I still miss him to this day, man. So shout out to Daryl Kennedy, a.k.a. Heavy, you know. I think he got kids, and yeah, he got kids. He definitely know about a son he had before he passed. And shout out to him. I think he was a junior. If he ever catch wind of this, shout out to him, man. I respected your daddy. I love your daddy. He was a great man. R.I.P. Heavy.